Hi, Lauren.
Hi, John.
Oh, I'm so
I don't
excited.
call you John. That sounded weird.
No one really does.
No.
My mom calls me Jonathan, and pretty much everyone else in my life calls me Gabrus.
Yeah, and sometimes when people talk about you and call you John, I'm like, what? Like, I don't know who they're talking about.
I can always tell when someone emails me and says, "Hey, John." I'm like, we're not that good of friends, are we? Shout out to these people asking me to do their podcast.
We're so excited because today we have a very special guest.
We have a shy little guest. We're hoping that she'll be able to come out of her shell and chat with us.
She's afraid.
Guys, in the studio with us right now is Nicole Byer.
It's me! She's the host of Nailed It, which is on Netflix right now. I mean, among many other things that you're doing. But we were just talking about how awesome that show is.
I don't have a friend as close as Nicole that I would have to look up on IMDb because she has so many fucking shows.
You're doing
currently
so many
running.
things literally right now that I have to just focus on the one that I just watched, which was Nailed It. And it's such a great show. I mean, you could tell us a little about it, I guess, better than I could.
Yeah, it's a baking show where three people who don't know anything about baking bake something and then we have to judge it. Oh, also it's like something very hard to make from like Pinterest.
Yeah, like a beautiful like unicorn cake or something. And then,
Or a Pikachu cake.
Yeah.
A Pikachu cake
Or
or like an emoji
cookie that
cake.
looks like...
And they're all like, they had this baker woman who made everything and it took her days to make.
And they give them like 2 hours.
It's so funny. And they already don't know how to do things like that.
No, and it was just wild to watch people. This one guy
It's you and Jacques Torres, by the way.
me and Jacques Torres.
What's his deal?
He's like a world famous chocolatier, and he would wear this this jacket. I can't remember what it's called. I call it the Tour de France jacket, but that's not what it's called. It was like a very
Yeah, bicycle guys don't wear jackets. That might be a little bit of wind resistance.
I didn't realize I was like disrespecting him. It was like a very fancy French like
you have to earn the
yes,
jacket he was
and it's
wearing.
like over
yes.
the course of like 10 days, and you have to make different things. And he's the youngest one to win
thing.
it.
Or a baker.
It's a chefy bakery.
Yeah.
Chefy Bakery. Yeah, now I'm sure Jacques is happy with your summing it up. I think you've got it all figured out.
He spent a lot of time being like, Nicole, the things that come out of your mouth.
I know,
I
you
made
can see
so
he's
many dick
shocked
jokes.
by you.
He's shocked, but he
loved it.
He loved it.
Yeah,
you
yeah,
can
yeah.
tell that he's like, this is the coolest thing I've ever been part of.
Yes.
And he's like, keeps looking at you like, this is a good person for me to be friends with. Before we get into too much into horniness, Nicole, one thing we generally do with our guests is talk about their experience with TV as a child. Were you a big TV household, a TV child?
We watched TV. My sister liked it more. And on Saturdays, we were only allowed to watch TV till about 11.
Whoa.
And then we had to go outside and play. And then my sister would be like, no, I need more.
Like fingernails dragging on the carpet.
And I'd always be like, it's fine. TV will be there later. She would wake up before school at like 6 a.m. to watch Sailor Moon and VR Troopers.
Can we have your sister on the podcast instead?
Sorry.
Yeah, writing herself out of a gig, and this gig is being a guest on a podcast.
Is she older than you?
She's older than me, but she's very quiet. So like you wouldn't have fun.
Yeah.
She would sit there and blink at you.
It does not surprise me that someone else who grew up in your household is quiet. Maybe she didn't have a chance to talk. Both of my
Not
brothers.
maybe. She didn't have a chance to talk.
Both of my brothers are quiet.
We did this. We did this to
Yeah, I
them.
guess I'm more annoying than my brother. I don't know that he's quiet, but I'm like, I need attention.
Oh, I'm definitely the most annoying. In
Very
my family.
annoying, very loud. People are always like, Nicole, please.
My mom's like, watch your mouth wherever we are. I'm just like, I can't believe the fucking meatballs in this place are fantastic. My mom's like, watch your mouth, Jonathan.
Your mom
Like
looks
your mom.
just like
My mom looks-
I've never met her, but she looks just like
She
it's
looks
insane.
identical to me.
Oh my
And
God.
we have my whole life I've looked like this, obviously. My whole life I've been 300 pounds and bearded, more or less. And
And just to be fair, your mom is not.
my mom's not. She's 285 and has no beard. But she's 5'4", so it's real. She doesn't carry it
She's
as well
pretty,
as me.
but you,
She's adorable.
You are her exact.
I look
duplicate.
exactly
Yeah.
like. I think part of the reason I grew a beard early on in life was that, and it just kind of stuck. It was like
Embrace it. Do some drag. You guys can do like a little
that
duo.
was what you
A
commented on Instagram. It's like,
mother-son drag duo.
Yes.
I would watch that so hard. The weirdest shit ever.
I did want to
I'm
do.
here for it.
I did want to do a one-woman show as my mom,
oh my god,
like
you
a full-blown
should.
one-woman show, because
You
my mom
should.
just has like the dumbest. Everything she does is funny.
That would be so funny. Okay, wait.
Do
So,
it.
what shows did you like when you were growing up?
Growing up, I loved Star Trek Next Generation.
Whoa!
Loved it.
Surprise!
Oh, Captain Picard. That's my first crush.
Really?
What?
Bald-headed man. Ooh, baby. When I was little, I just wanted to sit on his head and spin around. I don't know if I knew that was like a thing you could do.
Yeah,
But in hindsight, I would have
I
killed
would
to do
have
that.
done it.
I definitely sit on bald heads and spin around.
You know that old sexy thing.
See, I sometimes slap on a bald cap so we can role play at the house. Good thing I used to be a high school swimmer. I have that swimming cap I can pop on.
Yeah, pop it on. Sit right on their head.
Picard is such a weird
Loved
crush.
him.
I don't feel like I know what he looks like.
That's
He's,
Patrick
It's not
Stewart.
Spock.
Yeah, Patrick Stewart.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. That's what I meant, and I was saying Spock.
He's Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, okay, good.
Who's looked 60
Who also,
for
for
25
his-
years.
yes.
He's very handsome.
He's-
I
I
saw
think
him
he's
do
so
improvised
hot.
Shakespeare Company, and he was hilarious.
That
He's
would make
hysterical.
Me so
yeah,
wet.
yeah.
Even now, I think he's so sexy.
He's still
Also,
so sexy.
Riker on Star Trek, he's the brunette man who was like second in command.
Yeah, with the
he did
beard.
it for me too. Yes,
Yeah.
I was like, and also Whoopi Goldberg was on it, and I
Oh,
really
wow.
liked Whoopi.
Yeah.
So anytime she was on an episode, I'd get really excited. And then I watched a lot of Family Matters.
Oh, of course. We're
Wonderful.
huge
We're
Family
just
Matters heads here.
Yeah.
So much. And have you ever seen the finale, the series finale of the show?
Wow, let's talk about it because I'm sure.
I can't think-
I recently just got to see a clip from it, and it's literally insane.
Okay, we have to. watch it.
Urkel goes to the moon.
Oh yes.
Oh, right, yes.
Doesn't he land? Wait.
Yes.
Oh no. Wait.
And all of the news reporters go, the nerd's on the moon. They keep calling him the nerd.
The nerd's on the moon. Here he comes.
This is an insane idea.
There's paparazzi.
Okay, one more.
They pay them. Greetings, Earthlings! His voice is so high by this season.
Oh, there's got to be a strain on him to keep this up.
I really feel like I fell off with New Harriet. I don't recall.
I didn't. I just watched it. I don't think I watched it like when it was airing because New Harriet was bad.
Yeah.
And then it moved from ABC to CBS.
What year would the final season be? I think I aged out of TGIF
Yeah.
at one point where
Well,
I
it
started.
wasn't even on TJF at that point.
Oh,
it was
right,
on
right.
CBS.
Right, yeah.
I think the series finale was maybe like 98.
Yeah, I would have
Do
been
we
16.
know why
I don't know if I would have
they
still.
replaced her?
Let's find
But that's like
out.
same thing with Fresh Prince. And
I
also,
know.
both moms got replaced by lighter women, which is like,
Oh, yeah,
is
that's
weird.
not nice.
And just it's never as good.
No, I loved old. What was her name on Fresh Prince? Vivian.
Yeah.
and
Aunt
Viv.
Viv. I loved old Aunt
I
Viv.
know. Well, do you see her now? She's like really
Ooh,
outspoken about
she
things.
hates Will Smith.
Yes. She does like these like
Hates.
vlogs where she's like, "You need to figure things out because you don't understand how the world works, and you're not Oscar nominated, whatever." She's like going off about how like they don't deserve everything in the world, and like it was like this whole crazy thing.
I mean, like she worked with Will Smith when he was like 17. Cut
Yeah.
the guy some slack.
But I think
I mean, he's a fucking
no,
lunatic.
but she talked shit about that too because she was like, he got paid. He
Yes,
didn't argue
they
for
wanted
them
to
all
do favored nations, and he refused to do it. So she
Where
was like,
everyone be
"Fuck
paid
you
the
forever."
same.
Yeah. Oh, what a dick move. Because he was
So-
a producer on it too, and he wanted.
I think it's because he was 17 or 18 or whatever, and he was just like, "Let me make as much money as I can."
Yeah.
Like, I
Yeah.
don't think that was in his brain that it's like some people get paid peanuts, and you're
Well,
gonna get paid,
yeah.
millions.
If he was 17 or 18, he probably had like an agent or a manager looking out for his well-being, not just trying to make a quick buck off of him. Yeah. I'm sure his agents and reps were like, "Oh yeah, no, let's make sure we take care of this kid so he's emotionally okay."
Well,
for
it
the rest.
is weird too when you think about the disparity in pay on so many of these shows. Like that, you have no idea watching it that some actors are making so much more than the others.
It's wild.
so weird.
Yeah, wasn't there something like that came out about The Crown where the woman who's the lead
Yes,
was
the
making
lead
less?
was making less than the other guy, but the other guy I think was coming off another show that was hot.
Yeah.
So like I get why he'd get paid a little bit more, but like she's the lead.
Yeah,
Right.
it should have been negotiated
Yes.
to be equal.
Right. Patrick Stewart's an interesting crush,
Ooh,
by the way.
baby.
That's really funny.
And now, how old were you when you were like getting a crush on someone on TV?
I
for the
would
first time?
say probably 10, 11?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I always, like, in school was very interested in boys. Like, one of my earliest memories is opening the door while a boy was going to the bathroom. The teacher going, "Nicole, you can't do that." And I was like, "But I need to see what he's got." I just wanted to see that.
That was
dick.
when you were a teacher.
I was teaching kindergarten.
See what he's got.
Gotta see what he's working with. Yeah, maybe 10, 11.
There's also like that pre-horniness where you don't know why you like something so much, and then like in hindsight you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but I knew because I would go to the library and look in the adult section, and I would skim through adult books to the sex part, and then read it and be like, oh my.
Oh, did you ever read Forever by Judy Blume?
Yes, where that guy names his dick.
Yes.
Forever is such a weird
so
book.
weird.
Oh, that's so.
I read it in like 5th grade, and it's from like the 70s or whatever. But like, it's about this girl who like loses her virginity or whatever. But then the guy like names his dick like Harry. Or something. It's like so.
And then she had to be like, "Oh, Henry, I think it
is Henry."
Because then she'd be like, "Is Henry ready to come out?"
Yeah.
Oh
it
my
was
God.
so weird.
I'm so hard right now.
I never forgot it. Like I never read that again, but like that really
I read it
stuck
twice
with
to
me.
be like, "Is this really what this book is?"
My parents had the Joy of Sex book on the shelf in our house, and like when they would go, like when they were both at work, which was all the time, I would be up there like just and it's like it's like pencil drawings of sex, and I was still like, oh my God.
Yeah.
One of the things I remember specifically because I loved it was called it was titled The French Oyster.
Ew.
And it was a woman with her legs both behind her head, sort of like looking like an oyster shell.
No.
And I was like, wait a minute.
Holy shit.
And in that moment I went, oh, that's a normal sex position. You know what I mean? Like in my head, I was like, that's what I want to do someday.
Have you?
Like, I have not.
Tiffany's probably pretty flexible.
We're close. And thanks for name check my wife's sexual prowess. No.
Her name's Biffany. Biffany?
Biffany?
Biffany Gabrus.
Biffany Gabrus.
She's pretty flexible, but I haven't pushed for the French oyster yet.
My friend had a book that her mom gave her that was like, it was all about your changing body, and it was like cartoon drawings in color though, but of like kind of funny versions of like of what people looked like. But I remember the one that really blew my mind was there was a picture of women with different color hair and they had different color pubic hair.
That's something you need to learn early on in life.
Yeah. I was like, huh.
It's just
very funny.
Carpet drapes.
The first book I picked up, I was like 5 or 6. It was called Our Bodies, Our Minds, and it was also like cartoon drawings, and it explained sex. And I remember bringing it to my mother, being like, "Daddy did this to you?" And she was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "But why?"
Don't remind me.
It was not fun for me either. But I just couldn't believe it. I was like, dicks go in people?
Yeah, it's so
But
weird.
now I'm like, dicks go in people.
What were some, here's a fun question. What were some misconceptions you had about sex or genitals in general? I thought you peed. Like, I thought peeing was like, I didn't know cum was separate. And I also thought girls had a third hole that they peed out of, but you could also have sex with it. Like in the middle, in between the vagina and butthole was a third hole. And because I didn't understand, I in my head as a kid, the vagina was on the front like a penis, you know what I mean, rather than underneath. So anytime I saw in like a softcore when the girl's legs were up, I'm like, oh, he must be fucking her in the pee-pee hole. Sam just walked
I
out.
was like, goodbye.
He's
Pee-pee hole?
furious. He's hard
No,
as a
thank
rock.
you.
Sam has to go crank down.
He's not here to defend himself.
He must be fucking her in the pee-pee hole.
Yeah, no
That-
thanks.
That was one of the big misconceptions I had. Were you guys?
I thought blowjobs you just blew on dicks.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't think
But
I
that's,
even
I think,
could imagine what that was. Like, it was just like something I couldn't even comprehend.
How does the term blowjob come to be? Right? Like, why isn't it not suck job?
It should be suck job.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Should we make a PSA to change the
Hi,
nomenclature?
blowjob is misleading. We should call this a suck job.
There is a problem with affecting our children today in that they believe a blowjob is where you blow on a penis. Nicole Byer from Netflix has nailed it.
I'm sure Netflix would love that campaign. Nailed it is in the kids section, which is really crazy.
Well, it makes sense because it's like really good family viewing.
But it also doesn't make sense to cast Nicole Byer as the host at
no,
that point.
that's true.
Well, I get worried because I do live shows, and I'm like, are these children going to come to my stand-up show where I open it up with a pussy joke?
Yeah, but that's their fault if they do.
You open it with the pussy. So you do the dick joke last then.
No, that's in the middle. And then I do a fisting joke about 3/4 of the way through. Then I talk about eating shit at the end.
I love to
you
eat
have
shit.
I love it.
My big closer is me just screaming, I love to eat shit.
That's
can see
more or
that
less my
working.
entire hour of stand-up is like some version of...
Do you do stand up at all?
Yeah, every now and then.
Yeah.
I'm pretty bad at it.
I don't think you'd be good at
I'm
it.
good at it. I'm pretty bad at the work that's required
Right.
around it. Yeah,
Sure,
I've never done like the same thing twice, and I'm not saying that as a brag. It's because I don't want to write or remember anything.
Sure.
I just go up there and be like, "Hey, have I ever tell you that my mom's like fucking weird?" They're like, "Okay,
Like,
man."
yeah, you did.
Here's a little hack for you. Record your sets and then just listen to them before you do the next one, and then you'll just remember what you said.
Oh, that's
Oh shit!
great.
I do that.
I
Do you?
Yeah, yeah.
That's what I do.
Yeah,
'cause
I have them all
can't
recorded
write.
to ideally use them for like remembering bits, and then I've never listened to them. I have like 7 hours of me screaming, and my mom thought my pubes were dirt. True story.
What do you mean your mom thought your pubes were
We
dirt?
need the context on that
Yeah,
one.
well, yeah. I guess just the punchline doesn't work. One time we were hanging out in the living room at my house, my whole family, and my brother
Oh my God.
pantsed me and pulled my pants and caught my underwear by accident. Would not be the only time that's ever happened to me in my life. So Schwann's out in front of the whole family. I like run into the room, and my mom, I'm like I'm embarrassed. I'm like 13 or whatever,
Yeah.
and my mom comes in the room and she's like, "Jonathan, can I talk to you for a minute?" And I was like, yeah, what about? She's like, something to keep in mind is that you gotta make sure you clean your area. And I'm like, my area? And she's like, you gotta keep it clean. I'm like, Mom, I don't know what you're talking about. She's like, it looked like you had a little dirt down there. And I was like, Joanne, dirt? Are you referring to my pubic hair? And I saw my mom's face get like redder than mine was in that moment. She's a nurse. She couldn't even guess that it was pubic hair. And so I'm going off on her. I'm like, your first guess was dirt? How do I get that much dirt in that area on my body? I would be
like you
fucking
just
holes
don't
outside.
Wash ever.
Yeah,
That's adorable.
that is really adorable.
She didn't realize you had pubic hair.
Okay, on that note, let's take a little break so you can wash dick.
Well, now it's dirt.
After these messages,
we'll be right back. We're back. Our genitals are all cleaned up. We're ready for the second half of the episode.
And it's time to do a little snack break.
snack break.
Snack! We still haven't figured out a title for this segment that we've been doing. But
Let's change it every time. Let's
Okay.
make that the bit.
that's great.
That'd be easy for Josh.
We're eating Pop-Tarts today. We have a s'mores Pop-Tart and a strawberry. And then we have toasted and a not toasted version of each.
Because a lot of people eat them cold.
Yeah.
Which is insane.
I've never done it. But I remember at school, it was a thing. Like in middle school, people would buy them and eat them cold.
Yeah, because you couldn't, the teacher wouldn't let you toast. Can I run into the kitchen and use a toaster?
Teacher's lounge. Okay.
All right, let's do it. I
All right.
requested s'mores because that is my favorite.
That's my favorite.
Do you want to untoast it or
Yeah,
toast it?
I'll take an untoasted. I'll be that guy.
I'm having a bite.
I've never had s'mores.
You've never had s'mores or s'mores Pop-Tarts?
S'mores
S'mores
is like
Pop-Tarts.
stoner food 101 to me.
Yeah,
Like, it's
well-
like so good.
Yeah, it's like a dessert sandwich. It's got everything you need.
You make it in 1 second. Mm-hmm. Oh my god. it's so
oh,
good.
shit. That's fucking awesome.
It rocks. I've never had strawberry.
I
Which
like the
one's this?
strawberry.
Toasted or not?
That's untoasted. I
Okay,
think.
let's try
At
it.
least it's cold now.
I'm
regardless.
a real fat kid. I used to put a Pop-Tart in the toaster oven and then break it up over ice cream.
Ah,
and
Yum.
Eat that. Very good.
my brother taught me 2 Pop-Tarts, ice cream in the middle. Squish. It was
That's
awesome.
crazy.
Yeah. One time I came home and my brother was frying a Pop-Tart in the pan. With like butter. It's like, tss. I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, frying up Pop-Tarts? I was like,
I like your brother. That's amazing.
What
Smart
were
kid.
your other snacks that you like to watch TV with? After school.
What would be a snack? What would be a snack if it was in the house? You would just
Mashed potatoes.
Really? That's funny.
Yeah, I would eat like a box of garlic mashed potatoes. Which
I'm
is, like,
picturing
not okay.
I'm picturing a little Nicole, a young Nicole, I should say, smashing
never
down,
little.
smashing down mashed potatoes in front of the TV.
I fucking loved mashed potatoes. And then also I would make I guess you could call it a smoothie, but it wasn't. It was frozen strawberries, like maybe half a carton of ice cream and then a bunch of sugar.
Oh my God, it sounds amazing.
Add sugar? That's
Yes,
awesome.
it was so sweet and so delightful. And then my mother would always be like, "Where's the ice cream?" I'd be like, "Who knows?" But it was inside of me.
I always used to eat cake batter, like when we'd always make cake out of like mixes, and I would eat the batter. And then one time I loved eating the powder, and then one time I just took the whole bowl of powder up to my room, and I was like eating the chunks.
With like raw eggs and shit?
No, it was just the powder.
Just the powder. Oh.
It was so good.
I've done that with cookie dough where you just have to add water. Add the water,
Yes.
and then you're like, "Well, I'll just eat this."
I know, that one's so good.
I had my friend's older brother.
So weird.
That one, like
That one's really good. You mean the raw
No.
cookie dough?
It's not raw. There's no eggs in it.
Oh, that I know
It's
what
just
you-
powder.
pouches.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Oh, I know which
You
ones you're
know.
talking. You eat it like cookie soup.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
more
so
or less.
good.
But you don't add that much water, so
yeah,
it,
it's like more thick.
You don't have to tell me, girl. I got a sickness for the thickness. My friend's older brother used to eat protein powder raw after the gym, and it was like the gross. He would be like in the kitchen. We would be hanging out at his house. He'd come home from the gym, and he would like put a scoop of protein powder in his mouth and be like going to drink water, like shake it up. But when he'd be like coughing, and it'd be like powder flying out of his mouth. It would be like, dude,
wild. Oh, I used to also eat a lot of Hershey Kisses. Oh, this is kind of like your story. I used to put them in my underwear to heat them up.
there was only another way.
Couldn't use the microwave. I'm little. So I put them in my underwear.
How old are you?
Maybe like 6.
That's so funny.
Like maybe too old to be putting
you know
food in
what?
my panties.
No, but when they're warm, it's really good. Like they're
Yes.
like just goo.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I would do that, and then you know how they unwrap at the top, so there's like a little. So there would like be chocolate in my underwear, and then my mom had to sit me down and be like, "What's happening?"
You're just shitting all the
She would be like, I would prefer if the answer was you were shitting.
Shitting from the front. No, I'm just very fat.
This will never bite me in the ass as I get older.
Nicole, I want to ask you: do you have any memories of watching like crazy shit with friends, like that you shouldn't have been watching,
Yes.
like late at night or something?
I remember seeing this movie called The Dentist. Have you ever seen it?
Yes.
No.
It's about a dentist who like rips teeth out of women specifically and then like has sexual fantasies about them. It's a real fucked up movie.
my
Oh, I
God.
might be confusing this with Dr. Giggles. Excuse me.
What's
What
that?
is Dr. Giggles?
I think it's a horror movie about a dentist that I watched growing up at a sleepover and it fucked me up. Yeah,
This is
yeah.
like a softcore porn, like torture porn.
Oh my god!
And I remember being at, I won't say her name, my English friend's house. Her parents had gone to sleep, and then 2 other girls had gone to sleep, and me and her stayed up and like watched this movie just in silence. 'cause
She
we
was
were like,
British?
Oh,
Interesting.
Oh, taking out her teeth now?
You sound like Mrs. Doubtfire.
Losing the teeth now. It was a drive-by fruiting. It was a drive-by fruiting, Mom. I can't do accents. I can't do voices.
no, you're very good.
I honestly only like hearing people who can't do them. Like it's so funny.
You either have to be amazing or terrible for me to enjoy it.
Yeah.
Like someone who's just kind of good at it, you're like, fuck you.
Brian Safi is really bad at it, and they always do it on Throwing Shade, and it's so funny.
I always get pimped into it. I've been in so many improv scenes where the game ends up being, okay, I'm not actually Australian.
Yeah.
I'm just pretending because I have to like, oh, I might. And they're like,
Oh my
get
God,
out of
that
here.
was good.
That's all I got, though.
that was good.
Shrimp Bobby.
Bobby.
Shrimp Bobby.
Shrimp
Shrimp
Bobby.
Bobby.
My name's Shrimp Bobby. What were, like, I remember the movie Jade with Linda Florentino. Do you remember that movie?
No.
Who's Linda Florentino? How
or
old
Linda
I know you said
Fiorentino?
that like it was so.
She was an actress in a lot of stuff. She was in Men in Black, maybe you might remember. She's like
No.
a skinny
Who is she
brunette.
in Men in Black?
Am I getting her confused with Lara Flynn Boyle? No. She's hot as...
She was the doctor or the mortician in Men in Black?
I don't remember. She was the
I
woman.
love Men in Black.
Here's a clip from Jade.
And of course, it's directed by Billy Friedkin, who is one of my favorite
This is
directors.
already like weirdly horny though.
It is, the whole movie is. He's like investigating her as a killer and she's like seducing him. And she fucks him up against the chain link fence later on in the movie. And it's like, she's like got her hands and feet on the chain link fence and like
Oh my
riding
God.
him. And it's hot as fuck.
That sounds painful.
Oh,
Yeah.
she is in Men in Black.
Yes, that's her, right?
Yeah.
She's in Dogma too.
I
Yes.
watch Soul Food with my mother, which is a Black people movie.
Yeah.
And there's a
Soul
scene
Food.
where the cousin gets fucked up against a wall, and my mother just went, that's too hard. And I said, what? And she went, you'd have to have a lot of strength and stamina to be able to sustain that for so long. And I was like, oh.
Did that mess you
And
up?
I think about it a lot.
That messed you up, right?
I don't have standing up sex.
Well, it's
I don't think a lot of people do.
you'd have to find a specific guy if you want to.
Is this movie all just like...
And he's right here.
Okay.
This is a silent film where they just play like windpipe music. Or
There's
whatever
like
the fuck.
8 long softcore scenes like this in the movie. So right now,
It is pretty sexy.
Chaz Palminteri is open mouth kissing.
like hard on her face.
Yeah, he's gonna suck her whole head into his mouth and no.
Oh, she going down, people.
She gonna suck that dick? Yeah.
I don't know if I've told this story on the show. Maybe I have. That I went. My parents took me to see.
She's so tiny.
Look how this is like the YouTube
They
version.
just pulled off her big granny panties.
I know. And she looks so into it.
This is nasty.
She couldn't be more interested.
This was the shit I would watch. Like
This
these.
is so crazy. I encourage everyone to go watch this.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, watch the whole movie. It's pretty hot.
Oh, no.
She doesn't like this
Is she
sex.
crying?
I think she's kind of thinks she has to do this because she's going to kill this guy I think she's doing this as part of her Black Widow-ism.
It looks painful and bad.
It does.
For the record, don't fuck Chaz Palminteri.
My parents took me to see Deconstructing Harry when I was in 5th grade.
The Harrison Ford movie?
No, it's a Woody.
The Woody Allen one. I'm thinking of Regarding
or at
Henry.
least I think that's what it's called. But in the first scene, what's her name? Julie Louis-Dreyfus starts giving a blowjob, like in the first 5 minutes, in the kitchen of a party, and my parents walked me out, and then everyone was looking at us, and it was this whole big deal.
Oh, that's insane. That shit will screw you up. Your parents can really mess you up sexually for a long time.
Yeah, whenever I see a blowjob, I walk out.
Whenever I see a blowjob, I call my family when we all walk out of the theater together. Do you remember in the movie Cable Guy when he puts his nipple up against the window and goes, "Oh, Billy"?
Oh yeah.
Well, he does they're at prison and he puts up his nipple and goes, "Oh, Billy." And that was my favorite movie one summer. It still is one of my favorites. And I said to my dad, I'm like, well, what is that? What is he doing there? He's like, oh, it's from the movie Midnight Express. A guy is in a Thai prison and his wife visits.
Oh, I do think we talked about this.
Oh, we did?
Yeah.
On this?
Yeah.
Oh, shit. If that's the case, edit it out.
I think it was a long time ago.
Oh, was it?
But now I need to know the end of this.
Yeah, to finish telling.
She presses her breast up against the window. He's completely dead. He has changed from being in the prison. He just wants to jack off. She's there to connect with him, and he just wants to jack off looking at her tit. And my dad tells me that story, and I sort of start getting squirmy, and we're in the car, and I'm in shotgun. So I kind of look out the window and turn to the side, and my dad's like, "What do you got, wood, Johnny?" And it fucked me up for I didn't talk to my dad about women or girls until never. He died.
So crazy.
I never will.
I
You
feel
can
it
at
must
night.
be so weird.
Papa,
Dear Daddy.
I got a blowjob in Vegas.
You fill them in every night.
Still no blowjobs.
It must be so weird being a boy, though, where you're dealing with that, where people can kind of tell that you're having some reaction to something.
And especially if you're a boy whose parents think that sweatpants are a reasonable outfit to wear to school every day. I would get off the bus and walk with my backpack in front of me the whole way. Because the bus is in the morning.
What were you thinking about?
Well, see, here's the
You
thing.
said morning wood.
Yeah, I don't think you have to think about something when you're that young. We call them NRBs, no reason boners. You would just get them. And the bus would be a bumpy little vibrating ride the whole way to school, and all the girls from your grade were on the bus, or the hot
they're
girls
just
from
bouncing
and then you're
around.
bouncing, and it's the morning, and you're 13, and
It's
everything
just
is
a
hot.
combination of thoughts.
Yeah, and I'm just just
so weird.
just dick tucked into my waistband my whole life.
is
Oh,
hilarious.
no.
Yeah, it's terrible.
I'm glad I didn't have to deal with that.
Me too. It's so weird.
so
And
awful.
I wasn't aware of it at all until later, I think,
Yeah.
that people were dealing with that. I don't think it was something at school where you're he's got a boner. It was
No,
not.
I never noticed if a dude had a boner.
No.
Yeah, we thought everyone did.
No.
Yeah, we were.
Yeah, I think it really is just because we didn't know what that was. So it's you're not going to be thinking that is happening.
Yeah, and if you looked, it's not like a kid has got a fucking 10-inch
Right,
hog that's going to be tearing through his Oshkosh bagoshish.
When do
Okay.
dicks get fully formed?
I hope not until you're 40, because I need another inch or two.
But really, that's an interesting question because, like, some boys will grow really tall over a summer or something, or like some kids I feel like aren't tall until college.
Yeah,
and then,
I grew 3 inches
mean?
Freshman year of
and
college.
Then does your pee grow?
But my penis, I don't think grew. Also, don't we talk about TV on this podcast?
I know, somehow you keep bringing it back to your dick.
I keep bringing it back. I'm like, Nicole Byer's here. All she talks about is dicks, and then I just talk about dicks the whole time.
Because you feel comfortable.
God. The dick's been inside me the whole time.
Wait, Nicole, when did you get your first kiss?
Oh my God. When did I? It was in 7th grade.
That's good.
Me too.
No,
Lucky.
really?
First
I thought
makeout,
it was like
first tongue?
late.
No,
It was my first makeout and first tongue.
It was late. Like, I think in my school, I was
I
considered.
think in my school it was late.
Yeah, same, but I was a junior when I got mine.
Oh, what? Mm-hmm. Dang, dude.
Yeah.
Were you tall when you were in high school?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was like 5'10". I'm 5'10" now.
That's
Really?
awesome. And so your dick was fully grown then?
Yeah, and my dick keeps growing, actually. It's coming through my pant leg.
I keep getting like a 1.5 feet removed every year.
Yeah. People say I'm lucky.
It's a curse.
People say I'm
People say I'm like, all of a sudden you're like an old timer at a dockside bar.
I'm the old man from what, Family Guy?
Yeah.
Popsicle?
Oh, big strong boy.
But after my first kiss, nothing really happened till college.
Oh, yeah. Oh, see? And that's what happens to people sometimes, too. They get that early one, and then they
I didn't kiss
long...
anybody through high school.
My first French kiss, I bit the girl's tongue. What? I just closed my mouth like on her tongue.
Oh, my God.
Not like a full teeth, like I didn't like bite off a piece, but I just like, I didn't know what I was doing kissing wise, so I was just like opening and closing
Was she
my
like,
mouth.
ow?
Yeah, she was like, ow. And I was like, I hope I get to do this again.
Oh, no. And she said never.
She's like,
No, I then would later spend like 15 minutes trying to undo the back of her bra, like a month later.
Dear God.
Front clasp.
Then, I mean...
Well, that's on her to tell you.
Shame on her. Yeah.
But I went home and practiced on my mom's bras.
Okay, you were sick.
Adorable.
I went home and
you're not the only
rifling
person.
through your mom's underwear drawer.
It was in the...
Did you put it on yourself?
No, it was
you
on
put
the
it on the
laundry,
bear
and
or
I just like
something?
learned how the clasps worked because I just had never seen a clasp.
Well, yeah,
like
it's
that.
fair.
Yeah.
That's cute.
Yeah, and I was like, now I'm good. And then I didn't get a chance to do that for a few
And you were
years.
like, I learned on my mommy's bras.
Can I practice something I practiced on my mommy with you?
That is funny. But I wonder, there's no
What
way
other
for
access
a
to
parent
bras?
to do that. Like, your mom can't be like, here's my bra.
No, yeah, there's
practice.
no right
Yeah.
way to...
And then if your dad sat you down, I was like, yeah,
You're not open up a bra and unleash them titties, son.
let me show you.
Dad, please. Just come to one of my
scary.
football games.
He can't, he's dad.
I know.
You don't play football
I gotta stop
anymore.
playing football. I'm so bad at it.
Did you have sleepovers at your house?
So many. So
You
many.
hosted?
Yeah, for
Yeah.
my birthday, my sister's birthday, for
Oh,
like
yeah.
Thanksgiving. Like
It
my
was
mom
always
just
fun for
loved
birthdays.
it.
Birthdays is a sleepover's a good birthday.
Yeah.
'Cause then
It
you
is
have like
fun.
a cake excuse too.
Yeah,
You
it's
know,
a whole
like pizza.
Cake excuse.
What, to go eat it late at night?
Yeah, no, well, like
just to have a
to
cake.
have a cake rather than
Why would
like
you not have a cake?
I don't know because it wasn't your birthday.
Oh, okay. I thought you were saying you only got a birthday cake at a sleepover.
Oh no, you only get a cake at a sleepover if it's a birthday sleepover. Is the logic I was using.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
Rather than
I thought
like-
you were saying you didn't get a cake for your birthday. I thought this was another Bosco Hershey situation. We were going to find out.
Just find out how poor I was
sad
growing
truth.
up.
How poor were you?
Pretty poor for a while, but then we got to be like middle class when my mom became a nurse. And
That's the American dream.
Yeah.
You did it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And now look at me, I'm a podcaster, upper middle class.
Yeah, upper middle class. Get that money. Ooh.
I fucking loved sleepovers, but I was a sleep out kid
Oh,
because
see,
I didn't like to be home.
They always
yeah.
had to come to my house because my mother had crafts and snacks. My mom
that's so
loved
fun.
being a mom.
Oh, that's cool.
But then we had to invite everybody from our class, even the kids we didn't like. Oh boy!
What were some young birthday party? Like we had an arcade. We had time.
went
and we had
to
an
Leaps
arcade
and
that was
Bounds.
free. Yeah.
Did you ever go to Leaps and Bounds
No, what's
or
that? No, what's
Discovery
that?
Zone? Like
Yes.
we had both.
Going DZ at Discovery Zone, where I can laugh and play and be on my own.
Whoa!
Can you pull up the Discovery Zone theme song to see if I'm
I
remotely
fucking
correct?
loved going there. It was so fun. on. You just crawl through those pipes.
It was like a Chuck E. Cheese for 12-year-olds,
And
right?
then-
It was like
It was an upscale Chuck E. Cheese.
And I wonder, like, what did my parents do while I was doing that? I had one birthday party at Leaps and Bounds.
Swing here. I don't think so.
I remember this so well.
So do I.
Climb and slide here. I don't think so. Then where? I'm going
DC Discovery Zone.
where I can cut loose beyond my own.
DC is made just for me. The place where I can really cut loose. It's all here.
Jump and tumble here.
I wonder who had to
I
clean
don't
those
think
pipes.
so. I'm going. I don't think so.
They didn't clean shit.
I
No,
know.
it was so gross.
You always come across a Band-Aid at some point.
Yep.
Play Leaps and Bounds. I feel like
I've never been to Leaps and
It was really
Bounds.
the exact same thing, but it just had a different color palette. It was like tropical colors.
Ooh, I'm into it.
Oh, is that going to be it?
Welcome to Leaps and
No.
Pediatric therapy.
Lauren, are you sure you went to
Lauren-
a fun place for
Lauren's like,
therapy?
They said it was like Discovery Zone.
Didn't you guys ever go to Leaps and Bounds and talk to that doctor for an hour
It
a
had a
week
different
every
color
week?
palette. It was all white, and they put you in a jacket.
But you could bounce off the walls all day.
Maybe it doesn't have commercials. Maybe it was more local.
Yeah.
But it was like
Where did you grow up?
in Evanston, Illinois. outside of
Yes, I
Chicago.
did know that.
But it was
Where'd you grow up, Byer?
New Jersey.
Oh shit, son.
yeah.
I've heard of both.
Yeah, I'm good. I'm glad you know geography.
Thank you.
Where'd you grow? Long Island?
Yeah, girl. Right about here.
Oh yeah, baby.
He's showing her tattoo, his tattoo. I think.
I'm showing Nicole the tattoo I
What's
have
that?
of her.
What's on you?
Where? Oh, that?
That bruise.
I gave blood yesterday. Or
You did?
I got blood. Blood drawn for drunk history.
Oh,
Ask them if you have an iron deficiency.
Oh, yeah, I should. I just fainted.
I did that.
I don't think
I did that physical for drunk history, and like a man like tapped on my stomach. Did that happen to you?
Yeah, he makes sure your organs are in place.
Yeah. I was like,
What?
what the hell is he doing?
Just
Right? He just goes like
tapping
this?
on your stomach.
Yeah, he was like boop boop boop, and I
Yeah.
was like, he's like, you're good.
Because what
That's wild.
it's so introductory. These like insurance, like TV show
well,
insurance.
they're not
Yeah.
really doing anything.
They're just
No,
making
they're
sure
making
you're not
sure-
like about to die.
Yeah.
They're making sure like, oh, we can get this guy some booze and he'll like
It'll be
survive
fine.
the shoot.
Yeah.
I just had one, and the lady truly didn't do anything. She was just like, "Have you thought about losing weight?" And I was like, "Every day."
That's the conversation.
What a ridiculous.
Every time I meet with a doctor, every time I meet with a therapist, it's always like, yeah, so do you have any plans to lose weight? I'm like,
I mean,
I've been planning on it for a decade,
just
baby.
Really planning, not following through. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I don't plan to get high and order fat Sal's, but hey, girl, it
Yeah,
happens.
such a weird
Gotta
thing.
live your life. That is so weird, though. I mean, I feel like that's like, it's like a polite way of doing something rude, but then also like, it's everyone's choice to be how they want to be. I don't know.
But I
feel
think
like
a doctor like has
They
to
have to say
like
something.
they have to at some point just go like just a heads up in case.
But it's like you.
But
Everyone's.
if you're healthy
Yeah,
and everything's all right,
that's
then
the-
like, why bring it up?
yeah.
I mean, whatever.
But I wouldn't say I'm so super healthy.
No,
with
me either.
everything is all right. Yeah,
You're like, wait, well, we're not.
No, I'm slowly dying.
I mean, also, I'm not healthy at all, so fuck this shit. We'll take a break and come right back.
Bye. And we're back.
We're back. We're going to try a new segment right now.
Yes, and what we asked you guys on Twitter to tweet at us names of sitcoms that don't exist, and we thought we'd improvise a scene from one of these fake sitcoms.
Yes.
And one we got from at Brad Mamajama. At Brad Mamajama says, "Fathers of the Bride."
I love it.
So let's cut to a scene from Fathers of the Bride.
Okay.
In this scene, the two fathers of the titular bride, Ronnie and Donnie, are talking to their daughter on the eve of her wedding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Julia, how you feeling?
Good.
You feel ready for this?
I mean, is anyone ever ready to get married?
Sorry, I'm late. There was no cakes left at the wedding cake store.
Daddy!
I got us a blondie, though.
Daddy!
Blondie!
I'll stack them up and put a little figurine on top.
Oh,
Dad, there's no frosting!
I'll make the frosting. I didn't drop out of culinary school after 1 year to not make the frosting.
Ronnie,
Donnie.
I don't think I can keep doing this with you. Being two brothers raising one daughter.
Daddy, why are you fighting?
This was supposed to be a memorable day for our daughter. And here you come in ruining it like you always do.
Well, I'm sorry. You left me in charge of one thing, and that was to get the cake. But then I started playing dice with the neighbor boys.
Oh, no.
You know how I have that gambling addiction.
Well, I have to show you. Julia, I have a special gift for you.
Oh, you do?
Here you go. As you can see, it's a perfect memento gift that I created out of all our old family photos.
Oh, thank you. It's just pictures crumbled up.
Well, I fell on it on the way in.
It's
I like
kind of fucked up that we didn't get a joint gift. You went ahead and made that gift behind my back?
I just thought we'd each do something personal.